Hi everyone, happy to be back today to show you a new video, and this time we're gonna look at how do we retouch skin. So for those of you that have seen one of my previous videos, you may recognize already Marie portrait, which is an open portrait from Pat David, and that I demonstrated previously using AGX and showing you how we can get realistic skin color with AGX. Today I wanted to follow up on this portrait and also to follow up on Pat David actual work to go through how do we retouch skin and how do we use Wavelet Decompose. So before going through Wavelet Decompose, I just wanted to show you something here. So I used basically on the left the basic blurring technique to try to fix the skin by just applying Gaussian blur on all the forehead here. You see that of course it's fixing some wrinkle, it's fixing some bump on the skin, but we are also losing a lot of details on the skin. On the right side here, I use the Wavelet Decompose, where basically I try to retouch part of the skin without killing all the details. So my intention here is to fix some of the spot or fix some of the defect of the skin, which are normally natural defect, and without, I would say, making it feel like it's fake, making it feel like the skin is not real. So this is the fantastic work of this Wavelet Decompose module. It's something that is also was demonstrated before by Pat David on GIMP. That is actually not present in Lightroom, that you can do in Photoshop, but that is not present in Lightroom as such, and that I think is for me a big differentiator with Darktable and Lightroom. With that said, I just wanted to show you first of all a little bit of theory again around this Wavelet Decompose before we go directly on the module. So the Wavelet Decompose, basically it's trying to split or to decompose the skin into different layers. So we go from the very fine details of the image to the coarser detail of the image. So we just split this image into different layers, what we call here scales, and it's up to you to choose how many scales you want to use and on which then scales you want to apply your retouch. And that is the really important and interesting things about this Wavelet Decompose, is that it allows you to work only on a specific level of detail without touching the rest of the details, and that's how you will get both retouched skin without having, I would say, this fake and completely plastic look of the skin here on the left. So you see here the original image. If I just deactivate the module, you see on the right here the original image. We had some defect, let's call it this way, of the skin. We like natural, every natural skin will have this type of defect. Here, if I apply the module, you see that I'm correcting some of them without losing some small wrinkles here or this wrinkle here. So it's really, I'm applying it on a very specific detail that I choose to apply it on. With that said, I just wanted to show you the retouch module. So here I duplicate a retouch module. I will reset it completely to show you what does it mean. Let me take those out first, and let me take this snapshot out of the way also. So here, this Wavelet Decompose is just to show you the retouch module as such. So for those of you who do not know retouch module, I will invite you to go through one of my previous videos that is explaining a little bit more the retouch module. And I will also invite you to one of my other videos about shapes if you want to learn how you do shapes. But to go quickly through this retouch module, you need to first of all be able to tell the software where you want to retouch. So you can either use a circle, you can either use ellipse, you can draw a path, you can of course just brush an area, and then as soon as it's vectorized each time, you can just edit your shapes after you have made them. So this is when you tell the retouch module which area you want to retouch. Then you need to choose which algorithm you want to use. So either if you want to use this healing tool, that it's basically quite similar to a Lightroom healing tool also, that will try to duplicate and retouch an area based on the area around, the luminance, the chroma, trying to really blend your retouch in the surrounding of the image. Whereas the clone part is basically just a stamp, copy, pasting one area to another. Could be useful, let's say, for example, if you have patterns on an image and so on, which will not be the case here, of course. You can have the fill tool, which will basically just fill the area with a color. And then last but not least here for this module, the blurring tool or blur tool here that will allow you to apply blur and gauss on some kind of region. So with that said, it was what I used on the left side of the forehead when I demonstrated, when I opened the video. I just selected the forehead area with a path and I applied blur, and then it was completely blurring the whole image, different scale of the image. Then I can decompose my image in the different scales. So as I told you, you can choose how many scales you want. So right now I have 0 scales. I'm of course selecting no scales at all, and I have nothing merged. For this portrait and for this demonstration, I will use 7 scales. The more scales you add, the more, I would say, different layers you will add of detail on your image. I think 7 is okay for a portrait. What it will do with these 7 scales is from the left here, it will select the very, very fine detail. To the right here, where it will go through the coarser detail. And here it's just the remaining of the detail here that will be shown on the right side. If I go here, of course you will see nothing because it's just selecting part of the image, but it do not show you anything. What you can do is you can display the wavelet scale here just by clicking here to be able to see what does it mean and what you are selecting with the finer detail as we are on the left here. But you will see that it's basically completely black, so you can use the auto tune here or auto level just to try to adjust and to be able to see more detail here, and you start to see appearing those fine detail about the hood here. You see the fine detail here of the eye, for example. I can of course just try to play with it and see what is the best way to show it and how I can visualize it better. You need to tweak it a little bit yourself actually to try to find what is the best setup in terms of scale. It is not touching at all your image. That's something that is important. It's just a visualization. So here, if I go on the rougher part here, usually it's easier to see. So it's you see when I do auto level here, it's moving the different small triangle to see what will be the scale to show you. So here we are more or less in the middle, a little bit on the right or a little bit on the coarser side of the scales. And then if I go back here on the left, you see that here I have some kind of fine detail, but it's still not the finest one. You see that I see my, for example, hairs here. I can really go on the very, very fine details, and here you see that I'm touching really the very, very, very small details. If I go on the right side here, it's the I would say, coarser one. And if I go even on the right hand side here, it's what they call residual, which is really the very, very last bit. With that said, it's really how you can approach this type of scales and how you will see on which level you want to work on. So here, for example, when we work on the forehead, I will just show you after on this module. You see here that if I touch this part, I will already touch those small wrinkles. If I go here, I'm already not touching anymore the wrinkles and being more on a higher level of detail. So I will not kill those very small wrinkles. Then I will take out just this module, and I will show you the retouch module of the forehead that I already prepared. I've been doing it before because I think it's not the purpose of this video, otherwise it will last for 30 minutes. I just wanted to show you this forehead part. So what I did is I drew a shape. So once again, it's a very rough shape. If you want to work really very precisely, I think you will need to go with more points. You will need to refine those things, but here it was for the sake of this demonstration. So here I would try to, I would say, go through the whole forehead, and then I worked on this level of detail, so on the 6th one. And you see I made this shape on the 6th one because there is this orange orange line, under the dot, so it means that there is a shape here and that it will apply something. What I did also is the merging part. So I worked on the level 6, but then I told him to merge it until the level 5. So what does it mean is that it will apply my Gaussian blur here also on the level 5 of detail. I do not need to do once again the mask for this level of detail. I can go on the very left here, and you will see that I'm here completely killing my details because I apply Gaussian blur further up to the level 2 of details, where you remember before I had those small wrinkles. So this is of course not what we want to do, so I will keep here on the 5. I could even stay if I want on the 6, but you see here if I stay on the 6 I will recover some of these small bumps, so I think it's better to keep it on the 5. You can also try of course on the 4, but I think we are losing here really too many details, so here I'm keeping it on the 5. And then you can of course tweak your mask opacity and your radius. One thing to keep in mind, guys, is for me, I would advise, and I think it was also Pat David advice, where he was showing different area of this portrait. You should work on different areas differently. So you can just duplicate the module and then modify the mask. Because for example here the forehead, you may have more things to do than on the nose, let's say, which is for me a little bit cleaner. So I would strongly advise against doing it as a whole, like selecting the whole face and just applying the same parameters. I think it's better to work region by region to fix really what needs to be fixed, without killing details that shouldn't be, I would say, killed. So this is very important. You can also, of course, once you have a shape here, you can just copy, paste, or cut this shape and apply it further down or further right by just cutting it here and then pasting it here. So it's just a way to move if you have selected this mask here and you want to move it a little bit upper, you can just move it this way or move it on the left also. With that said, for me this is really the most powerful part of this Wavelet Decompose. So you see, if I just take out the module or deactivate the module and reactivate it, you see that I'm taking out those small bumps without touching at all the small wrinkles. And usually I think that's something that we need to keep in mind also, is that when it's too much, people will see it, and you need to stay very light on these type of things. And this Wavelet Decompose will allow you to only retouch what you need to retouch. Then, of course, you can also work with area here, or you can also work with a spot. So I did the same with this spot part here, where I try to heal some of the bottom part here, just to show you the different way to do it. You can exactly apply the same wavelet theory by touching only on the level of detail you want to go. So here, for example, I tried to touch this small spot here, this small spot here, and also this region here that was a little bit bigger. And as soon as it was a little bit bigger, I applied them on the different level. So here you see on this level here, the level 5, I tried to retouch this area with the healing tool because this area was rougher, coarser. So I was seeing it here if I applied also the visualization on this level of detail. You see that the blemish that I had here on the top are not so visible in this level of detail, but if I go down on a smaller level, it's more visible on the smaller level for these small details. So this is really something that is, if I take it out now, that is really good, is that you can choose your different levels to what you want to retouch and how you want to retouch it. So you work exactly the same way. You select which level you want to work with, and you just try to fix those small details. Of course, you can also merge the things, and you see that here it will fix even better, because this fix here on this level 5 will also be applied on the level 4. So this is something that will help you, and you see that it's not so, how to say it, it's not so visible. I think on this one I can go even further. I think on this one you fix it, and on this one also you make it blend way more without feeling that you just put a big one big copy paste to just hide it. With that said, guys, it wraps up for me this video about retouching the skin with Cautious. If I have to conclude this video with one thing, is that keep it light-handed. It was also in Pat David website, but I think it's really interesting to keep in mind that retouching skin can feel very quickly very unnatural, and people will see it, so people will be unhappy if it's their own portrait, or your viewer globally will feel like, okay, you overdone it. So usually it's something that I also apply in my all my images when I do some retouch, color grading, or this type of thing, is I try to do it the way I would do it, and then go back to every module and try to tone them down a little bit, not to make them so obvious. And you will see, if you apply these things, normally your portrait will look more natural and will look more, I would say, yeah, less fake than what people can see. So I think it's this way that Decompose is once again one step further from Lightroom, and please play with it, use it, and see. It can feel very, I would say, overwhelming at the very beginning, but then you will quickly realize how you can play with it and what you can control with this type of things. Thank you very much, guys, for watching, and see you later.